When adding a user, only agency managers and network administrators can do so. If you need to add more than 5 users, you can complete a user upload form that can be found in the user manual and send that to support@linkedfeed.com in order to upload it for you in the back end. If you need to add fewer than 4 users, you can do so manually by going to Administration and then clicking on Users. There are 2 blue buttons that are used frequently when it comes to users. The light blue circle here means password reset, where the user will be sent a password reset email. And the second one, which is a little wand, means says change password, where you can manually change the user's password on the spot. If a user is locked out, you will be able to see a third icon, which indicates that they are locked out of the system. In order to unlock them, just click on the lock icon and it will disappear and automatically unlock the user. Users are usually locked out if they try logging into the system more than 3 times and have done so incorrectly. When changing a user's password, know that they can't use the most recent password that they had. This system will force them to think of a completely new password, whether it's being reset or whether it's the usual 6 months between changing passwords. They cannot use the most recently used one. I'll review this with an existing profile. So the first page you'll see when adding a new user will be this one. Owning organization. This is the main organization the user should have access to. If the user should have access to multiple organizations, you will set the owning organization as the network level. They don't have to be a network administrator to have access to the network, nor do you have to give them access to the specific network organization in order for them to have access to different agencies. There's a separate page that lists all the sites that they can have agencies that you would check off. First and last name are pretty straightforward. Email, username. This does not have to be a real email address, but if it's not, the user will have trouble receiving password reset notifications. When creating a new user, the next that would show right under here would be the password. So note that the password has to be at least 8 characters long, have at least 1 uppercase letter, at least 1 number, and 1 special character. The list after that would be roles. Any roles that are blocked off are not accessible to be given by this user. Users cannot provide roles that they do not have access to themselves. The definition of each role can be found in the user manual under the support heading. After checking off the roles that person should have, you would scroll to the bottom and click on Save and Next. Locations is a page of all the organizations under the network, but this shows all the sites under the network, and you don't necessarily have to check off the network. Save and Next. Assigned applications. So usually it will only be one, either Intake or Kids Cafe, but there are some food banks who have both. So this provides permission for the user to access agencies that have that application. Save and Next. Next is the intake permissions. By default, most users just check off all. If you check off all, know that this includes all the tabs here. But there are some locations that want the user to have access to only a specific tab in the client profile, or want to hide certain tabs from the user that aren't relevant to them. Attendance permissions are separate, so I may enable this here. Do make sure that it is enabled under the organization as well. Programs will list all the programs from all the organizations that you've said that the user should have access to. There's a select all and deselect all button for a quick reference. And save and next. Reports include all the reports available to the organization or that the organization has access to. Only users that have the reporter role would be able to access reports. If the user I created did not have the reporter role, there would be a yellow banner at the top indicating that if you check this off, you'll need to check off the reporter role in the client's profile. Save and next. There's a miscellaneous tab with more specific preferences that are available. First is preferred site theme, default or high contrast for people with visibility difficulties. There's preferred time zone, which is defaulted to be automatically the same as the agency that you have access to. Preferred client tab. So as soon as you search for a client's name, when you click on the profile, what tab do you want to go to? And then preferred search the quick search refers to the search at the top right. What method do you want to use to search in this box? By clicking on save and next, it will take you to a summary of the client's profile that you've created. If you ever want to edit a user or remove them, click on users from the administration tab. Find the user that you want to edit. This could be giving them a new role or restricting roles from them. You would click on the orange edit icon, edit user, and then check off any roles that they should have and save your changes. If you need to provide access to a user who doesn't have permissions to a new site, you would click on locations. Make sure that that agency's name is checked off, the new one, save and next, and continue to click on save and next if nothing else has changed in between those pages. But what you're looking for is the programs tab. So although I checked off agency 6, I need to also make sure that I have access to the programs in agency 6 as well. And then I would save my changes. To deactivate a user, you would click on administration and users. Click on the edit icon beside the user's name. Click on edit user. And under enable, just change it to no and save your changes.